Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a very special edition today where we're going to be talking about my 50th birthday, which I realize seems fairly indulgent, but I hope as I share about my 50th birthday that there might be some good stuff in there for you too. And yes, we are going to talk about a little bit of Disney along the way, and I'm really glad that you're here. So I have gone all over the place with this video, and I'm not gonna lie, as the words are coming out of my mouth, I'm still not entirely sure what direction I'm going to go. I have thought about a million different things that I wanted to say to you guys on my 50th birthday. I've started recording 3 different videos, none of them felt right. And so I decided I would just talk a little bit about how I'm feeling right now. And let's talk first about the great unpleasantness, because this birthday for me is so surreal. And I know, obviously, I am not the only person to have had a birthday in the last several months. People have had babies, people have gotten married, people have postponed marriages, people have thought about their futures in a completely different way. And so some of the things that I'm thinking through as far as turning 50, what do I want to do with my life? They aren't just because I'm turning 50, they are also because of the kind of supercharged emotional air that we all find ourselves living in right now. And so I guess I want to start off this video by saying we all get to take a collective breath. We have been through a lot. And whether you are in the US, if you're one of my viewers from the UK or somewhere else in Europe or Australia, none of us has gotten through this without a certain degree of stress, anxiety, and emotional upheaval. Some of us are still in the thick of it, which is true for us here in the US. And there's just a lot of conflicting emotions right now. So as I was struggling to kind of come up with, especially something somewhat Disney themed that I wanted to talk about today, as I was struggling, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share that because I know I'm not the only one that's struggling right now with how do I even feel about everything. And so I thought we would start there because at 50, I had hoped that to celebrate my birthday, yes, I would be at Walt Disney World. I even had this super fun idea that on my birthday itself, I would start in Florida, then I would fly to California, which by the way, is my birthday twin. Disneyland is turning 65 the same day that I am turning 50. Disneyland, as most of you know, is so important to me, plays such a big part in my family history. Love Disneyland to pieces, but obviously I can't do either one of those things right now. So the reality of our situation means that I'm a little confused. My brain is a little confused. I'm not exactly sure how to feel. I'm a little unclear about the future, but I thought, you know what? Let's just chat about the things that we do know. And there are a few things as I'm turning 50 that I know for sure. And I'm going to share those with you guys today. So the first thing that I know for sure as I'm turning 50 years old is that there are very few things that I know for sure. And I'm kind of stealing that from Oprah. She just had the 20th anniversary of O Magazine issue. You guys know I talk about Oprah all the time. It's actually kind of ridiculous. But, you know, she talked about that as she ages, there's a lot fewer things that she's sure of. And I would say that is 100% true of me as well. I would have told you even a year ago that I could clearly map out what the next 5 years of my life was going to look like. I can't say that anymore. And I think that coronavirus has done that for a lot of us. So I would say that I am less sure of most everything. You know, when I was 30, I was really, really sure of myself. I knew what I believed in. I knew what I stood for. You know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, all of that kind of stuff. And as I'm aging, I'm realizing that life is nuance and that everybody is walking a different path. And that if you're absolutely 100% sure of something, you maybe want to start becoming a listener of people that view things differently than you do. So yeah, that would be number 1. I'm hardly sure of anything. Number 2 would be it is super important to have friends that aren't like you. And for you individually, that might mean everything from someone that isn't your same faith, or maybe someone that isn't from your same part of the country or your same part of the world. Maybe it means someone who has a different skin color than you. Maybe it's someone that's in a different socioeconomic situation than you are. But if you only surround yourself with people that are exactly like you end up being in a vacuum. And for me personally, that is no way to live a life, because it really keeps you from having empathy for the way people live that aren't you. And I think one of the big takeaways for me from the Black Lives Matter movement was this idea that if it's not happening to me, then it's not happening. And through relationship, you can really grow beyond that and realize that there are a whole bunch of people who aren't you experiencing a whole bunch of things that you aren't experiencing. And that does not mean that those things are not valid, and it does not mean that they don't deserve our time and attention. So as much as possible, try to seek out friendships with people that don't live exactly the same life or maybe live in exactly the same bubble that you do. The third thing that I know for sure is that I need to be very careful about numbing out. Now, this was a concept that was first introduced to me in Brene Brown's book. It was either, I think it was in Daring Greatly. It might have been in her book on shame. But definitely, if you're not following Brene Brown on all the things, you need to. I started following her way back when we were all just watching her TED Talk before she even published her first book. But I adore Brene Brown. And when she talks about numbing, it really, when I read it the first time, hit home with me, because there were so many things that I would use to numb. I would use alcohol sometimes to numb. I would use television to numb. I would use just mindlessly scrolling through the internet to numb. And yes, sometimes I would use Disney to numb. And I know for some of you that might be a little bit ouchy, but the reality is I think we need to enjoy things to enjoy them and not to fully escape from our real lives. Now, what I'm not talking about is, a little bit of escapism is not a bad thing. But when you're living in your mind in an alternative reality because you are so unhappy in the one that you're currently in, that is not healthy, and it is numbing out. And what happens is you're not able to feel the joy in your everyday life because you've disassociated yourself from all of the things that are going on and decided you're just not going to let yourself feel the bad feelings. And the truth is, we have to feel the bad feelings. And I see a lot in the Disney community, this not wanting to deal with what's actually going on in the world. Now, what I'm not saying is that everything has to be negative and you have to always be realistic and live in reality, because that's just really no fun. But there is a balance there, and there is an understanding that there are things going on in this world that are not okay, and that Disney is where we vacation, but it is not real life, and we need to really think about our impact in our day-to-day lives. And for me personally, I didn't enjoy my life when I was just living for a week of vacation every year. That's no way to live. And even if you have the best vacation spots in the world, I want my day-to-day life to be something where I wake up in the morning and I'm excited for the day that's ahead. So just remember that we all use different things to numb. It's good to re-examine that in your life and make sure that even though you have things that you might use to escape to, that you're not numbing out so much that you're not facing the reality of your own circumstances. The other thing that I know for sure, where are we? I guess we're on number 4. The fourth thing that I know for sure is that knowing yourself and being willing to say no to things that aren't a good fit for you is probably the most powerful superpower you possess. Nobody else can decide for me what the next best step is for me. And although I am a huge fan of seeking wise counsel and getting good advice and doing my research, there comes a point where I have to make decisions based on what's best for me. And that's true for me personally. That's true for me as an entrepreneur. It's true as I make decisions with my money and just in all areas of my life. So do all the research, get all the good advice, but at some point you're going to have to settle into yourself and make the decision that feels the best possible thing for you. And you just have to trust that gut instinct, and you have to go for it sometimes. And you know what? You might fail, and you might fail miserably. But what do we say? Even when we fail, we have to keep moving forward. And I've said this before, but I've learned far more from my failures in my life than I have from my successes. Everyone that I respect would say the exact same thing. And then the fifth thing that I would say that I know for sure is that having people around you that are in your corner and that are on your side is worth its weight in gold. The last several years, I have really been intentional about ridding myself of some toxic people, some people that never really were on my side, people that were bringing me down, were not encouraging, and really were never about what we could do together or how we could encourage one another. They were really just about what they could get out of our relationship. And it took me a long time to get comfortable with just saying no to those relationships and walking away. And sometimes there's no easy way to do that. Sometimes you just need to walk out and say, I'm not okay with this anymore. But when you surround yourself with people that are really for you, it's amazing how you can see your life transform. And I'm talking about everyone from, of course, your partner in life. I'm talking about even family. I'm talking about your best friends, the people that you're the closest to. I think we have to re-examine those relationships and understand that not all relationships are for all seasons. I'm one of those people, I don't require a ton of friendships, but I do like to have a few people around me. I'm incredibly loyal and I expect loyalty from them as well. And it's been really good to finally feel like I have that small group of people around me that has my back, and that is absolutely worth fighting for. So this video really isn't very much about Disney. It's really not very much about Disney Vacation Club or any of the things we normally talk about. And I just wanted to chat. I just wanted to celebrate. And I wanted to say to all of you, we are in such a strange season. And you are probably feeling like I am. Like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to act. I'm not sure what happens next. And you know what? I don't think any of us does. But what I do know is that we can move forward together, that we're smart, that we're courageous, and we can do the next right thing. So I'm going to close on that note from Frozen 2. Thank you to all of you that have sent me such beautiful birthday wishes, and I've gotten a few birthday gifts in the mail. You guys are the most supportive group of subscribers on the planet. Coming up on the channel, we have so many great things. I'll be really excited to bring you the video where I talk about all the donations we collected during the month of June. I'll have more Disney Vacation Club videos. Hopefully, I'll have some trip planning coming up for Disney World in Florida and maybe even California at some point, maybe a few months away, but I'm determined we're going to get there. So if you're not already subscribed and you haven't bought my birthday gift yet, that would be a great personal favor and an honor if you would hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit those bell notifications, and please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. I love you guys. Take care of each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.